It sounds real good, like real good. I want to talk about dirty things. Right? Here we are, first show with Darren. First of all, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the first ever edition of The Whole Bowl with Noodles, your host. And I'm pleased to have today with us Darren Griffith. He's a high school friend that goes way back. I was a freshman. He was a senior. He was in class with my sister, and that starts the thing. But he's done a lot of great things in the world with himself and with his family. And I'm here to talk about it because, like I told you, I know a lot of interesting people, and no one that I was thinking of, and Navi can attest to this, that, I thought if I'm going to put a podcast, I got to have someone with some energy, someone with a story to tell, someone behind something. And there's a foundation that you'll learn about. And I think the journey to get to this foundation is a lot that mimics maybe my journey to get to here where I'm talking to somebody like this. I think a big part of what we're doing when we talk about veterans and all this and how does it tie in together. I went and spent 20 years overseas, included in that 20 years. And why and for what? I joined for selfish reasons because I couldn't, I couldn't accomplish what I was supposed to do as per go to college, all that right off the bat. So I joined the Army, but then that turned into what my mission in life and my goal in 20 years doing that. I feel, how do you validate that? And what about it? Well, doing that, and, people say, oh, thank you for serving. And I always say, thank you for being worth serving. But when I think of people, I can honestly think of someone like Darren that, I did 20 years. I laid in the mud. I got shot at. I shot people. Why? Right. So that this guy that I know can go on and do these things that I got written down on this paper that's, we're going to talk about. So without further ado, Darren Griffith.
Oh my God, dude. Boy,
it's hard.
You raised me up. What a great introduction. Thank you.
I'm not. Like people are going to see video and they're going to see your t-shirt. They're going to know right away you're cool, right? And then here I am with another t-shirt we're going to talk about.
I like your notepad.
Yeah, right?
You
I never had one in school. Did you see this?
Yeah.
This is like something that's foreign to you. You know what I mean? So, it's great to finally get together too. It's been a while for us,
I think we saw each other in like 2008. You were at a bike stand at like Hagerstown Bike Night.
Yeah.
Like
and you were there. Yeah. I was doing the motorcycle thing, and here comes this rock star. Like I was like, who is this guy? And maybe people can remember the spikes and stuff. But yeah, and that's what I thought. I was like, who is this guy? Typical situation. Who's this guy think he is? And oh my God, that's Darren Griffith. Not, oh my God, it's Darren Griffith, this guy that's done all these. This is my friend from high school. Let me go say hi. What you been up to? And it's been good. And of course, Facebook has kept us in touch, right? And seeing great things. So let's talk about, I don't know even where to start. It's great to be together. We spent like an hour, of course, setting up equipment and stuff and getting ready. And we got to see your beautiful home and meet your wife that I know from back when, and your big old kid, big, beautiful kid, and no matter what people can say about us, our kids have turned out to be all right, and that's I think what's most important, right?
Good dad rules.
Good dad rules, right? Yeah, and that's beautiful. That's what's beautiful. You know what I mean? People, I'm sure so many people thought, oh, remember Darren in high school and whatnot, and think, but
hey, I wanted to be a cruise director in high school. Remember how they would say, "Oh, well, what do you want to be when you graduate?"
You would have said,
and I wanted to be Julie McCoy on the Love Boat because I thought it would be a great
play in high school. Yes. The King and I,
the Fiddler on the Roof.
King and I, remember, because I'm half Thai, and that my mom loved The King and I. Yes.
Yeah, it was fun. Those days, oh my gosh. And don't even get me started with soccer either.
No, we need to start at soccer. And that's what's beautiful about it. And this goes to that is like, I wanted to do this podcast because I tell a lot of people these stories. Number one, I need them validated, because if I don't, half the time they're like, yeah, whatever, Noodles, they let it go, whatever. Well, this is get back time. This is time for me to say, okay, on 1, 2, and 3, guess what? Now, if they don't believe the man in person, well, that's on them. Then they have a problem, right? But this is one of those situations. So soccer, you mentioned soccer, and when I talked about this, you had said something. I was like, stop. I don't want to hear it because I wanted to share it here. But I caught a glimpse of it coming out, so it's a good story. Like I think we should share that one because I tell people I was a good soccer player, and that's it. But someone else might be able to validate.
And do your kids believe that you were a good soccer player?
I think they know. I think because when we kick the ball around, they don't know. They don't know. They don't think I was good. Don't get me wrong. They know I could play soccer. I've had played soccer before because I can do certain things. Yeah, and have showed them one or two things, but they don't now.
Right.
At 14 and 9, they're beyond me. I don't teach them. I watch and enjoy. But yeah, we did have a time in soccer, Boonesboro. And that's good. Our town, and my hope is to explain our town as we go in this podcast journey. Not shoot, if we talked about it now, we'd get on to all kinds of issues. So hopefully little tidbits of what Boonesboro was about and growing up. And, I can say I was produced because I think the formative years was in Boonesboro and yourself.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And no, not everybody from Boonesboro is a farmer or a construction worker. Not that those are bad things. I tell you, going away from here has made me respect construction workers and farmers. You know what I mean? So
right. And my dad, he didn't really jump around jobs, but he was a bus driver, and then he worked over at the prison, and that's a big part of Boonesboro. There's a lot of people in the Washington County area that works at
there.
the prison.
And then they deal with people that are not from Washington County.
Right.
You know what I mean? A lot that are, but yeah. That was important. And so we came from a place. So we were talking about soccer. So you says, so we played. You were a senior. I was a freshman. And I'll tell you, you can hear this part of the story that's going to go out. Soccer, I grew up in Germany, and you knew a little bit of this, but I spent 7 years of my life as Army brat before even coming to Boonesboro, Germany. So my soccer playing years as a little guy was in Germany. And so I was learning from German coaches and And so I came over here and played AYSO, and nothing against that. I will always support any youth organization, anything like that that does well. It was beneath my level of what I was learning. So I wasn't learning. I was being bored. Right. So I was bored, and I would goof off, and I would do funny things. Where I see as my kids are being challenged on a daily level at soccer, they don't have times to goof off and be bored. Where now looking back in hindsight, I wish that I would have been able or had the opportunity. And what's going to come out big is my dad was never around. He was at games and such like that.
Right.
But in those times, he wasn't there to take me. I left from school to practice. He didn't do the, but not because he was absent, because he was at work.
Right.
Times were different. You know what I mean? He raised me. I was proud of my dad of being at work. You know what I mean? I played soccer because I had to manage going to soccer. My mom was Thai at home. You go to play the game, whatever. But yeah. So that was an important part of it. But I'm doing it different with my kids.
Right.
For reasons I learned from growing up that way, but I didn't. And that's like you. What takes a man like you from where you go? So tell this story about North High, because this is very important to Darren.
Right. This is all right. So, and one thing, we didn't really have like coaches that were
soccer. No,
soccer coaches.
They didn't know. They read the rule book.
Right. Mm-hmm. Exactly. But I'm happy to say that we were the ones to bring soccer to Boonesboro High School. Like I had to go.
Yeah, you and my sister and them. That whole crew. Yeah.
I had to go in front of a board and
see, it's coming back.
And say that, I'm too small to play soccer. And little Jason Anderson here.
Yeah.
You were tiny. Dude.
Yeah, 4 foot. I wasn't even 4'11" then. Yeah, for sure I was tiny.
But so I'm going to fast forward to North High, and North High was the champ. They were undefeated and everything, and
best in the county,
right?
And they're 10 times bigger than us. They're like 3A and we're 1A, or 4A. Well, I think they were 3A and we're 1A. Yeah.
And we were playing against them, and you were amazing, dude. You were the only guy that I knew, like Pele, that could do a bicycle kick and a flip throw in, and does your kids do this now?
No, there's and that's the thing. Those are the things in soccer, and some soccer players who listen to this, the overhead volley, the bicycle kick. There's 1 or 2 times that it's really needed. Most times you could, if you're in position yourself better or do something, you don't have to do all that. You can collect it and do whatever. The flip throw, if you do a throw in correctly, you don't need all that. The idea behind it was to generate that force and then whip it down the field.
Dude,
Yeah.
you taught me how to do that.
Yeah, and you could.
And you could throw it like
so much further.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, and and it's just fun, and it's part of the thing. But the way they're learning, that's something that's so interesting. They're learning the game on a whole different level. Whereas a throw-in is something like, man, you guys messed up. You got the ball. I'm like, hurry up and get it back in. So it's not, let's set up for a throw-in. No, when when the whistle blows, it's their intent to get the ball going again because they play with the ball moving. Like it's a whole different way. If I played on that team, I'd be on the bench because the way I used to dribble around everybody and do all that nonsense. No, what are you doing? Because you put everybody else, the other players, out of whack. But there's also, hey, some of the players can't keep up. Well, then when we're at that,
And so, like our team, I mean, you were like.
We had Ashley
Cable.
Yeah. And his sister was like a manager or something.
And I just talked to Ashley not too long ago on Facebook. But his sisters actually reaches out to Michelle and I because her daughter plays volleyball at Shepherd University.
Oh, nice.
She's really good.
Yeah.
But anyway, so you would have fun and you loved the game.
Oh, I mean,
you could tell. And like the thing about North High, I remember this because this is like one of our moments, like, because I was not the best soccer player. I just had heart,
you
know, and I had
were not
aggression.
The best soccer player.
Yes.
How's that for the
Thanks.
No.
But no,
I'll chime in. Go ahead.
But yeah, you were down in the at the corner at the goal, and like everybody was at you because you had the ball and you were the best one on the team, and then you just bloop right in front.
Yeah.
And all I had to do is stick
open.
my foot out and pop.
The right place at the right time. Like
first
I
goal,
tell my kids.
Yeah,
this is
first
beautiful.
goal that Boonesboro ever made, and I was so happy. And
we had to win that game.
Yeah, we beat the champs.
Yeah, we did it. That's what's up.
Boonesboro represent.
Yeah, and I remember there was games like that, and that's hard. And this is not touchy subject, but this is a real subject. Like with the head injury, Molly can attest to it. There's so many good memories, so many bad memories I've spent time to try to forget, but so many good memories that I can't explain other than 2008 just wiped them out, and I fought hard to remember them back. Like this is beautiful to me. Like I always talk to my kids about how do you how do you saying hi to somebody is more than just saying hello. There's so much more involved. And when you're a somebody to somebody and you say hello to them, you're changing that person's whole day or whatever.
Right.
And that's one of those things. I love knowing that I did something positive. And a big thing behind this is, I want my kids to be able to say, hey, my daddy did this, and not my dad, did this in Iraq, or my dad did this when he played soccer in high school. No, but my dad did this, I witnessed him. I witnessed him go meet this cool guy, Darren, that had this big dog that, just all those things are so important to me. And I think we've gotten away from that. Like the important, how much, and I'll tell you, I was worried about imposing. We're coming here with equipment to talk and stuff. Like how many hours it's going to take. And I told Molly and everybody, maybe an hour and a half. Let's try to get to an hour and a half because I don't want to impose on these people's day and their dinner and stuff. But this is something we needed to do for years. Apparently, we messed up, But and I've done that. I personally have messed up my whole life, But the beauty of it is coming back and saying, "Hey, look what we messed up. Look what we missed out on." But we're not too late to enjoy each other's what we bring to the table per se. And that's for us. It stems back to high school and soccer. So we beat North High. We become the champions of the world in the county. It's probably the only game we won.
We only won one game. That was okay.
Yeah, varsity baby. Probably got a letter. Probably like that's and we're gonna have viewers from other countries. So we're gonna get better letters and stuff like that. Like we got these big letters for a jacket and then you played a sport, you got some stuff on there. So we do some stuff. So
with the rubber sleeves and they turn yellow if you put it in your closet for like 10 years.
We got to get to the nitty gritty though. So we went from high school. So high school, Darren, like I said, Darren was older than I. So you went from high school. What'd you do? Holly went to Hager's. She went to some business school or something. Where did you went?
Well,
I decided to fly.
I went to go to California. For acting, of course.
You wanted to be an actor? Yeah. I didn't know. See, that's what I'm saying. You were older, and I could read the yearbook. I still got the yearbook. Do you have the yearbook? Okay, so
I did.
If you need it, I got it. If we need
Right.
some stuff, I got it.
I did want to become a cruise director, so I
That's
took all
right.
these online stuffs, and it just wasn't for me, So I moved out to California.
The
My
Love
big
Boat.
sister,
You wanted to do the Love Boat. You wanted to do the Love Boat.
my sister was out in California, and I went out there, and of course, do what everyone else does: go live with your sister.
Yeah.
And then I got a place in California, and then I just. I like the Rodney
Who paid
King.
your rent and stuff?
I did.
Okay, well, what'd you do
I
to pay your
worked.
rent? Working doing what? Did you wait tables? Did
No,
they pay for your body?
I became
Like me? They did that for years for me.
I became a collector.
Here we go.
I really became I was good at talking on the phone. And so I became a collector.
Oh, collector on the phone.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say like you found some memorabilia or something cool and you made a bunch of money. No, so you were like a bill collector.
Right.
Like and you owe us money, you could pay me.
Right. I worked in Tarzana, California. And I mean and I lived like I got with these roommates, which were awesome. They lived in Encino, and it was great.
Right. Encino man.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. That's where I got my haircut from.
We just had a great we had a great time, and I worked there, and then I did the whole acting thing, and I really didn't like it too much.
You never played soccer after high school.
No,
Let's cut that. Okay, good. All right, so you didn't like acting, or it's
a cutthroat business out there, So I got homesick, to be honest with you.
I know the feeling. Yeah.
When I had my neighbor actually shot himself, and then one morning police, like all these police cars and stuff came, and they came into our house, and then someone stole my darn 10 speed.
Your bicycle.
Yeah, and then they put
your transportation.
Yeah, that's where I had a 10 speed, and then they put a tricycle there, and it was just bad.
Oh, they like said, "Wait, look, man, we're not going to get it all, but we're going to get most of it."
And then I wasn't used to seeing like people like really hurt themselves bad, and when they came to our house, and then they were, we have to use your house, and
what?
And they were making sure that guy wasn't an active shooter back in the early 90s, and he wasn't. He just tried to kill himself.
Right.
And after that,
you had to get back.
Getting back on the jet plane,
and they say it's worse. Like I know you probably still have friends there,
yeah.
And I'll tell you, my information comes from podcasts and stuff because I know people out there, but no one I communicate with. But from what I understand, like it's hard to be in California, like especially LA at this time with what happened in the pandemic and the homeless thing and stuff. We're fortunate.
Right.
I think through the pandemic, I didn't see much change around here. People changed a lot around here, but nothing really like our homeless population didn't explode. Our things like that they were talking about in other places, the housing market, I think may have fluctuated a little bit, but didn't go out of whack. Like we're pretty good. We're safe, but we didn't get it like other places like that.
We, the family, all of us went out to California back in September.
Right.
And, like our family here really doesn't see the homeless population as when we were there. We were eating at the Saddle Ranch. And the thing that really touched my heart is our kids said, you know what? Like, because they gave us like all this food, and they were just giving us free food. I don't know, why we kept getting free food or whatever.
Part of the meal,
And so what the kids did, and this really touched Michelle and I. They said, "Hey, let's give some of the food to some of the homeless people.
Yeah, let's
so
pack it up right and give it to
so
them.
we actually did, and we drove there, and I mean every we were right on Sunset Boulevard, and every street corner was just homeless people. So Gunner would get out.
Right.
He would go take food to them.
Yeah, and they took it. Right.
Yeah,
so
they
it's
did.
like they need it. It's not like some people I've heard like some people say, they're just out there for money. They don't want food or shelter.
No,
they just want money. No. I would say that they're wrong in saying that. That's my honest
and you can
opinion.
tell that they have some like mental issues.
Something.
And, like
100%.
And I mean, it's so sad because there are kids, 19 18, 19 years old.
Right.
The same as Maya, Sydney, and Gunnar. You know,
Right.
they're out there, and you know, and it's sad. It
They
really
got nowhere
touched
to
our
run.
right.
They
It
got nowhere
really
to
touched
run.
our heart.
Yeah.
And
Well, good. I mean, it should touch your heart.
Yeah.
There's something wrong with you if that.
It's-
Like if you look at that, if you
Right.
can look at that, and then there's nothing wrong with me going out and spending a lot of money on a meal. We do that a lot, but
Right.
you know, if it gets. I'm glad that our children, my kids are the same way, can look
Right.
at that and appreciate that. You know, $100 steak is one thing, but $100 worth of groceries is
Right.
you know, probably more impactful
Right.
to you, the person that would have got the $100 steak. You know,
Right.
if I buy $100 groceries and give it to a family that needs it, then something, and that's something we all need a little more of as much as we get it. Because look how it affected you. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? The meal that you probably don't even remember what you ate, but you remember what you did with the food you
Right.
ate, right?
And hey, our kids are so lucky.
Blessed,
They're privileged, to be honest with you.
spoiled, rotten. What are you
Yeah.
talking about? Like,
Well, I have to say, and I'm going to put Gunnar out there.
We
We were
have
at the
to.
Saddle Ranch, and he's like, "Oh, I want to try this." Dude bought $100. You're talking about
Yeah,
steak
yeah.
and stuff. Well, he bought this and like some kind of, and it's funny that I know this because not that I'm a penny pincher or
right?
anything,
But you got a pinch of pennies.
you're
Yeah.
like, his whole meal was more than all four of our
combined,
meals
yeah, and it's not just
combined.
because he's big. He was just tasting. Yes,
Yeah,
he
so,
got a taster over there.
But yeah, so whoever got his filet mignon,
Oh.
they
yeah, they
were
had the best.
lucky.
Yes.
Yeah,
And then you deserve it, a
Right.
fillet every once in a while. So if you got to pay $100, you pay $100. But so does the guy. You know, that guy sitting on the street might respect it a little more
Right.
than us. You know,
Yeah.
I get you on that.
So, but yeah, I
So
mean, just
you went there and you went to California and you. Like, I wanted to get to. So you just worked like
yeah,
at the collector, and
Yeah.
then what got you from going from collecting to calling people to get your money to like going out on your own? And what I've noticed,
shirts.
it was basically shirts. Like I've
Right.
noticed the rock star shirts, you know, which was cool to me.
well, I worked at Chase Bank for like 13 years, and I was just sitting there
Up
and-
here in town?
yeah,
Or-
in Frederick.
okay.
And I worked there. Great people. We always had fun, and like we had these town halls. And I'm just not like a person that can sit in a cubicle. I'm sure
Right.
you're that way
Yeah,
too.
no, they
You know?
tried me a couple. They tried me a couple times. They gave me medicine for that. Yeah,
So-
yeah.
but so yeah, we would do like town halls and stuff, and
Right.
I would you know, I always like trying to make people laugh and stuff. So I got the old washboard
Oh yeah,
that you
like
put
the
on your
redneck
phone,
thing.
and
Yeah,
I
yeah.
had the kazoo, and I had pans on my knees, and
right.
like we would do a whole thing in front of everybody, and we would just have so much fun there, and it
You
was
were
a
that
great
guy.
place to
Yeah,
work.
yeah.
But I just, you know, I was sitting in my office, and I was like drawing this half of a silhouette of a
Right.
woman,
Right.
and I was like, that to me is perfection. And I was like, what can I call it? And my friend Brennan said, look up on thesaurus.com because
Right,
I'm
yeah.
not the sharpest tool in that shed.
Right,
You
but
know?
those things like that, when someone tells me look up something on something like that,
Yeah.
like you can do that, and it gave you something good, right? What did you
Right.
get?
And so I was like, that is perfection to me. Like
Right.
the lines of a car.
right, yeah.
It's perfection, you
Right.
know, like just the lines of a Porsche 911 or
Mhm, the right car. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why it's been around so long.
You
Yeah,
know,
the lines
or-
are right.
or like the women, like
Marilyn Monroe,
right,
Her
a perfect silhouette,
yeah,
20,
yeah.
36,
Perfect to you or
36,
someone else?
24, 36, perfect measurements.
Right, yeah.
So
I think that's what I am. If
so-
somehow something's
Right.
36, I don't know. Right? Yeah. But
So
anyways.
I you know, I came up with this thing called Paragon, a model of excellence or perfection.
Right.
And then I just started doing this, and I started sketching out sketches of t-shirt designs and stuff.
Right.
And then, you know, I took a secure job
Right.
that I had for 13 years, and I'm out,
right.
you know, and I
And this
started.
is it. Like this is one of their products.
Well, yeah, it is, but we'll get to that one in a
well,
minute,
yeah,
because
this is
that
cool.
one,
I'm just letting you know
yeah.
I got cool stuff. I don't
That-
normally dress this cool.
right? So you're too funny.
Go ahead.
So I started this Paragon. I started this T-shirt company called Paragon, and I started like trying to figure out like how can I make an impact with this? You just can't do T-shirts. So I did the best thing as any young male would do. We would hit the strip clubs.
Yeah. And act like you had more money than you.
Right.
Yeah. I remember. I think I remember those days. Yeah.
And I tell you, I got like my first set of original Paragon girls were badass chicks, man.
These are some beautiful ones. I've seen the pictures. I can't be in person though. We're going
right. So we got these girls, and I created the Paragon girls, and then they became bigger than my T-shirt company called Paragon.
Right.
Yeah.
They just went places, right?
And so there's this bar down in Baltimore called Angel Rock Bar.
Yeah, I love that
And
place.
Travis Barker from Blink-182.
Yeah. My kids love him now.
Yeah.
You know, he's back again.
Yeah.
Go ahead. He's back hard again.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Great drummer. And he has this T-shirt company called Famous, Stars and Straps.
Yeah.
And he was going to do a fashion show down at Baltimore Angels Rock Bar.
Yeah, I love that place.
And he, for some reason, had to back out. And they're like, oh my God, what are we going to do? And I'll be like, and they were probably going to pay him like $20,000 to come in.
Yeah. They'd have made their money back.
And I was like, hey, I'll do it for free.
Right. Yeah. Sign me up. I got some girls, T-shirts. Yeah.
Right. So I mean, I went all out. I rented a truck, and I had 7 strippers in my car.
Were they local, or where are they from?
Yeah, they were local.
Local to this area?
Yeah,
Okay,
Vixens.
good. Okay.
Vixens. And
are they still around? That's like a selfless plug. Vixens.
Yeah, no, but
hey, I spent a lot of time there. Vixens. Hey,
I'm telling you what. But
listen, I'm writing a note. Sorry if anybody sees it, but I'm taking a note right now. Vixens is important when we go circle around on this thing. Okay, but go ahead, keep talking.
So I got these girls, and all of them were fantastic.
Right.
You know, they all wanted to be a part of the Paragon girls.
Right.
And so we went down, and it was like they had an elevator that they used to have.
I put my motorcycle up there to go to the actual bar. That's when they did one New Year's Day. I was trying to leave that out, but go ahead. Yeah, I've been there.
And it was just so heart pounding because we were the stars, you know.
Did they give you the Magnums to pour?
The what?
The big bottles of. I got to pour Magnums.
See,
they let me
no.
pour Magnum. But
I
want
think
it to be your story. It's got to be Darren's story.
I think that's when, you know,
you were before Magnums,
right?
I think, yeah.
Right.
You were when it was coming up. I was when they had.
I
some
only
money to
know
spend on
Magnums
dummies.
as something else.
Yeah, I don't know them. I know them as something, but they're not my flavor. I'm Asian.
All right. You get it.
I get it.
All right.
I'm with you. I'm Asian. I see them. They're next to the ones I get.
So we were coming up, and I think Martina McBride, we were at the Pier 5 Hotel, and Martina McBride was there.
Did you get to meet her?
Yeah, she's like, because
Is she as awesome in person as
very awesome.
Martina McBride.
She has, because my girls were a model of excellence. They were the perfect breed is born with these girls.
Right.
And
you can tell when you speak of it that you believe you're behind what I love
Dude,
that. I mean it.
I'm
like,
telling
that's
you,
huge,
my
man.
girls were like the baddest girls around. I always say they're the baddest girls on the planet.
Yeah, and you believe it. That's cool.
And then I'll get to the other ones here.
Yeah.
So
well, you got the JV team and everything.
Yeah. So so she was like, oh my God, I have a concert, but I want to go with you guys because your girls are beautiful.
I'm fine.
And so we come out, I rented this big
Martina
van.
McBride wanted to go with y'all.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm following.
She had a show at the Baltimore Convention Center or the Mariner Arena or whatever it was called at the time.
I pay to get in all them places, just so you know. I've been there. Been to every one of them.
So we got out of the truck right there, you know, as that turnaround, you know, that roundabout
where everything is. Yeah.
Well, the girls got out, and I mean, it was just pandemonium. I mean, like everybody, because they were in boy shorts and
they were in your clothes.
Yeah, and they were rocking the shirts, and
they're just
so
what you expect to see when you go, but you put it out there. See, like There's one thing in saying you're gonna do something like that, and
Right.
then bringing it to the party. You brought it,
Right.
And that's man, and you're from Boonesboro, Maryland. But go ahead,
Right.
Go ahead.
And so it was just so surreal to me. Like I remember the feeling. Like I'm getting chills right now.
That's good. I'm
When-
glad we can
when-
talk about it. Yeah.
When we were going up the elevator, you could hear this boom, 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 boom.
the music.
Boom. Yeah, and it was just pumping in our heart. And like when the doors open, like I mean, everybody was yelling. They were going like
Nuts.
when they came out, they were like, "Oh my God, look at these chicks!"
T-shirt
Like-
man, T-shirt man. No idea who you are. You look like one of the biggest rock stars on the planet. This dude Darren looked like the biggest. Right. Like I'm in front of whoever I'm talking in front of right now. This dude looked like he looked like he was Billy Idol's younger brother.
Oh my God!
And then he all of a sudden. You validated with him. The people at the bar had no idea who you were.
Right.
They Paragon clothing.
Yeah,
Darren
they probably
Griffith.
thought.
Right? Is that what happened?
They thought that. I guess they thought I was Travis Barker or something. But but I tell
Bigger
you
than
what.
Travis Barker in that moment.
I mean,
it meant more to you than it would have meant to him. Thank God.
Much so.
Hey, thank you, Travis Barker, if you're listening to this, for getting the fuck out of the way of my boy. Ooh, Michelle, can I talk like that? Sorry.
So
yeah, man, like for real, like see, but that's cool. I'm glad that meant like
And we went out there and then we started doing the fashion shows, and I wanted a fashion show. I think Kimora Simmons had a fashion show somewhere else that they were walking up and they were just standing.
That's
on.
Russell Simmons.
Yeah,
wife. But go ahead. Keep talking.
They were standing on. They were standing on like little platforms and stuff. And I was like, we got to go big. And so
Where's
I
the cage?
got my guy. Well, hold on. It's coming.
Oh, really?
So
I made that part.
I got my guy, Reverend Decay.
Right.
And I don't go to his church.
Right. Yeah.
Just saying, he was a fire breather.
Ooh.
So and he also does body suspension and stuff.
Yeah, I've seen that. That's difficult.
So,
I can't go down that road.
And I was like, you know
I could
what?
talk to him.
I was like, I'm going to try this. The body suspension and stuff.
You did it?
Hell no.
Okay, thank God.
I got scared, man.
Yeah, did you see the hook? Like they're stretching their skin. Yeah,
and
okay,
they said that you can only do 100 times. You can put it in the same place
and then you got to switch to new places.
Yeah, because you're.
Are there people that switch places because they have problems?
Yeah, like because it'll rip your skin.
Well, we need a group for them, an outreach program.
Can I tell you what?
Yes,
Reverend Decay was so awesome. Like the girls come out and. My girls were seasoned.
Yeah,
they know how to walk a catwalk.
Yeah,
and
I love it.
As soon as it comes out, I mean, the first song was Saliva.
Yeah.
They came out and they were just like, I mean, the girl, like everybody just started
they were on
yelling
point.
and stuff. Yeah, and it was great.
Isn't
and
it
then
great when something goes right? Like
yeah,
that?
and it was really surreal to me because I was like
That's
you
your
said,
creation.
yeah, I'm like, man, really, people love my shirts here and
Right.
stuff. And it was such a great moment for me. And we sold a lot of shirts, which I was happy with.
But it
And,
wasn't even about selling the t-shirts.
right. No, it was
Yeah,
everything.
couldn't it be?
And at the end, man, and I'm going to jump all the way to the end of this.
Right.
So we did Tommy Lee's song, Get Naked.
Right.
And the girls came out. Of course, they're used to being topless.
Naked, yeah.
Sorry, Michelle.
Yeah. She can't even hear us. She has and we can edit any names out too, right? Yeah,
Right.
we can edit names, add names. We can make up names. I love
So
this.
so the girls had bikini tops on, just
Right.
to let you know. But
Did
all
they
of
let
my
the kitties out?
no. They took their shirts off
Right,
and threw
had
them out
tops.
on the stage.
Oh,
and
cool. So they donated shirts.
yeah, and
That's
I tell
donation.
you
I
what,
like
that was the
Moment.
best.
The pinnacle.
Yeah, that was the best time.
With Tommy Lee.
I mean,
just the
it was
whole deal.
it was great. Like everybody just loved it so much. But that was my first show I ever did. I got my friends coming there. I put them in the VIP.
Right.
You had the VIP too with the Magnums.
Yeah. That's it.
And
great.
yeah, so it was really great. And we had this magazine come and do a story on us and everything.
Right.
So
Is Angel still like
Yeah,
up and go? Like, are they doing like? It seems like the party. Like, it seems like it's left that kind of area. Like you don't
Right.
It was like if I knew I wanted to be entertained, I'm not just saying it, I'm saying that whole area. Like if I wanted to go if someone was coming out of town, I would be like, let's go down to Inner Harbor.
Right.
But that's not something I even entertain anymore. I don't know.
I tell you, that was the spot to be at, was the Angel Rock Bar.
Right.
Marketplace.
Yeah,
man.
that whole little and then they had the little piano bar down on the I remember. We had a good time.
And I tell you what, I mean, they really welcomed me with open arms and everything.
Oh, yeah.
And so we kept coming back there. And you know, and that was my hangout.
That's the idea. And that's like this place we can kind of skip around too, and we'll talk to you more about it though. You're going to a place that is accepting what you're trying to do and allowed you to use your space. So we'll get to that later, but that's important in that, you know, in the end, you always return to those places.
Right.
And this is one of those places that in my lifetime now has become, let's return to it. It's like it was Stingers at one point and now it's, what it is. But we'll do that. But let's take a break for a minute right now. Can we take a short break? So
why do you have to pee or something?
I gotta piss, right? And then we can do that. Can we do that on this? Can we take pee breaks? I didn't know. I was like, shit, I don't know. Yeah.
All right.
You want to film it? No, okay.
I don't think he wants to.
So it's pretty good, right? So